there, YouTubers, and welcome to another pickups video. This week we have a little bit of a mixed pickups, and we have them all separated here because we got them from different times, different places, different people. So that's why we separated it. First, we're going to start off with this stack over here. Move that over. First, we have here two comic books I got from my buddy Josh. If any of you have seen him in my other channel, Over the Top Rope, we did a little trade. I gave him two turtle figures from the first reboot movie, and he gave me two comic books. We got here, hold on. Can I get the number? Wolverine. No number on this. Just say Wolverine, because then we got Wolverine comic. And then we have a 100-page spectacular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Heroes in a Half-Shell graphic novel in full color. I got this, traded him two turtle figures for these two comic books. Next, we move on to this stuff here. This, somebody came into my shop, was selling some of his VHSs. He had nothing really great in his stack. The only thing I saw was this. I'm a big fan of anime, so I asked him how much he wanted. He said he wanted $10 for all his VHSs, and I'm like, there's only like 5 VHS, and 4 of them are common crap that I sell for $1. Not even. Sometimes I give them away even. But yeah. And then I saw this in there. I go, how much you want for this? He still said $10. He's like, you take one or you take all, $10. So I managed to get him down to $3 because that was the bottom dollar he was going for it. But $3 is a pretty fair price. This is a pretty hard VHS to find. Look at that. This is an English dub of a Japanese anime movie. And then these two CDs I picked up, not from the same guy, but on the same day. I saw these CDs. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I do like this album. Got Little Bow Wow, Beware of the Dong. And then we have here, this one I really like. I like the artist a lot. At one point in my time, I used to listen to a lot of him, but not as much these days, but I still like him. We have The Game LAX Deluxe Edition, and yes, it has both CD and DVD. Both of it is in there. And then we got these games. Like I said in my earlier video on earlier podcast, that I'm going for a complete wrestling collection. Well, got some wrestling games right here to add to my collection. Picked up from the Game Experts because they gave me a really good deal on this one, because they know that I'm going for a complete wrestling collection. So any wrestling game that they know that I may not have, they put aside for me. So we got here WrestleMania 19. We have Day of Reckoning. And then we have Day of Reckoning 2, which this one I didn't get from them. This one somebody brought it into my shop, and it was the only game they had, and I'm like, I'll give you $2 because it's player's choice. I'm gonna have to swap it out down the road. I'm not a player's choice collector, but I don't care. We got Day of Reckoning 2, and then this one also came from Game Expert. They just got this in when I picked it up, and they just put it aside for me, and that is Raw 2. I'm not an Xbox guy. I'll never play Xbox in my life. I'm sorry for anybody out there, but I hate the Xbox. I despise it, but going for a complete wrestling collection, you gotta have them all. Then we move over to this side. I went to a little market during the week because I saw that they were open during the week, and I'm like, this is the last week before they close down. I'm like, well, I am going up north anyway, so why not stop by at this market? So I happened to not only go to the market, but also go inside the city as well. Now, inside the market, I managed to pick up some games and movies. We got here the Twisted Metal Head-On. We have Metal Gear Rising and Gran Turismo. I got this all from one vendor, though the only problem was that they said they had a lot more games, but they sold them off like around the August time. And there was another vendor that I went to, which was beside these one. They had like some games I wanted. They were asking $10 each, and I'm like, lady, they're worth $5 each. She goes, oh, but the kids were buying them like crazy. I had all my games marked at $10. Doesn't matter, we're buying like crazy. I had like 5 boxes, and now I'm down to this. So I told her, you probably had good games, and then this is crap that's left over. She's like, oh, if they're gonna buy, I can hold till next year. So she sold the goods. I was left with the scraps, and the scraps was priced like the goods. That's it. I never picked up from her because I told her, I'll give you $5 for these 2 games right now. And they were both wrestling related. And she said, no, $10 or get out. I'm like, how rude. But I did go to another table. It was like an antique dealer, like an older gentleman. He had like 2 games sitting there. One was a Sonic game, and one was this: Destroy All Humans, Big Willie Unleashed. Like, I don't know, he was an antique dealer with a lot of antiques, and only 2 games. He had them marked at $5 each. So I'm like, why not? This is a pretty fun game to have. And then guy across from him, he sees me wearing my Kiss t-shirt. He goes, hey, I got some great live concert DVDs. Do you go for live concert? I go, yeah, sure. I got this whole stack, $10, you can have it all. Okay, currently I don't have the whole stack with me because the other stack I gave to my dad because, well, he likes those guys, and my dad took it away. But we have here that I kept for myself is Korn. The other ones that were in the pile was Led Zeppelin. We had The Doors. We had Judas Priest. And then Satan something. But they were all in the pile. All of them was in the pile for $10. And my dad took those, and I kept the Korn for myself because I'm a fan of Korn. And then, right across, I saw a lady selling anime DVDs. She had movies, she had MMA, and then she had anime. So I'm like, oh, hey, how much for your anime DVDs? He goes, oh, they're $2 each. Okay, how much for your MMA DVDs? Oh, they're $5 each. How much for your movies? $2 each. I'm like, alright. I looked through and I saw these Dragon Ball Z DVDs. And then I also saw a G.I. Joe complete series. I asked, is it $2? He goes, no, that's $5. I'm like, I put it down. But I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, so I picked up all these DVDs. Then after I was done looking at the market, I decided to go into the main city before heading up to where I needed to go. And I saw this store. It was a mom and pop rental store that they said we rent games, we rent movies, and we sell games. So I walked in, they said 20% off games that are marked at $19.99 or less. They had cartridge-based games with they had the NES, SNES, Genesis, and they had PS2, Xbox, Xbox 360, and PS3. All their Nintendo, NES, SNES, Genesis was all sports titles because it was picked through. Because when I talked to the guy, he told me, yeah, 2 people came in, was it last week when they did the deal? 2 people came in and bought all their games, and all their cartridge-based games were priced at $9.99 or $12.99. And he named some of the titles, and at 20% off, I was like, dude, that's a deal. Like, they had, And a couple of names you get. We had Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3. He had them marked at $9.99 with 20% off. He had Hunt for Red October, that was marked at $9.99. They had what else was there? They had the WCW, the one with the Legion of Doom on the cover. Very hard to remember. But I do remember for Super Nintendo, they had they had Battletoads and Double Dragon on the NES as well. And then they also had it for the Genesis. They had Double Dragon on NES and Genesis. They only had 2 of them. I don't remember which one he mentioned. Then he also mentioned that he had the Jetsons, the expensive Jetsons, and that one was marked at $12.99. I'm like, whoa, that's a deal right there. And then 2 guys came in last week, picked through them, left the sports titles, but they didn't go through any of the PS2s or Xbox. So I managed to pick up sealed games. We have here, we have Ninja Gaiden Black, sealed. We have King of Fighters 11, sealed. We have Dynasty Warrior Gundam 2, uncommon game, sealed. We have Backyard Wrestling 2, sealed. And we have SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, sealed. He had a lot more games on the PS2, but for the most part, they were common games. Like, there was a uncommon Dance Dance Revolution there, but not worth a hell of a lot. I was thinking about it for myself, but I'm like, it's not worth a hell of a lot. He's asking $9.99. It's worth about $12. Sealed. So I'm like, even with the discount, I didn't pick it up. But I managed to score some uncommon games and some valuable games. All of these games were priced at $9.99 except for this one. This one was marked at $19.99. Probably because he knew what it was. But still, a good deal to be found. Last week, I ended up going to a wrestling event. If you guys have not yet seen on my Over the Top Rope video, I did a review of the show, Global Showdown. So if you haven't seen it, go to Over the Top Rope, check it out. I happened to meet Chris Masters, the Masterpiece, and I got my Ruthless Aggression Series 20 figure autographed. Yep. Look at that beautiful autograph by Chris Masters himself. And then I went to a random antique store because I tend to do that because sometimes antique stores, they may find games. Might be pricey, yes. Because they might say because it's old, it has to be expensive. But sometimes they could say, oh, it's games. It's old, but fuck it. I'll price it cheap. So I always take my gamble with antique stores. So when I went in there, I'm like, yo, dude, this is the best thing. I knew when I saw this, and the price was $8. When I saw it, I saw the price. I'm like, I knew I had to have it. And what did I have to have? That is the original 1969 advertisement for that brand new Big Mac that was coming into McDonald's soon. I knew I had to have it. This is just a cool little weird piece to hang up on my wall. Next, I went to there was a guy who was selling some of his stuff. He wanted a little too much, but I managed to get him down to a very reasonable price for some of his stuff. It was mixed between toys and games. We have here some Warcraft. Yeah, no, I love World of Warcraft. We have Burning Crusade. I already have all the games. I mainly picked it up because it was in the bundle. We have Catalysium, Wrath of the Lich King, Guild Wars Eyes of the North expansion. I already have all the games, but I don't have this. Max Rama's Raid Deck for World of Warcraft. Yeah, I love collecting the World of Warcraft cards. Something new I got into. When I got into World of Warcraft and Warcraft, soon after I learned that there were cards, so I'm starting to collect the Warcraft cards. Then we have here a Michael Jackson doll, because I'm going for a complete Michael Jackson vinyl CD collection, and I like the dolls and the posters, which we have over here. Thriller wooden picture. And then we have here an April O'Neil on the bike with the April O'Neil that the bike came with. Everything is still here. Like, if you look at that, the camera's still there. It still moves perfectly. And then we also have the wings. You see the wing 1 and wing 2. Both of the wings open up beautifully. Everything is intact, perfectly in shape. And April sits in here beautifully. Like, see that? There. And just bend her down. And there. There you go. There it is. I don't have this. Normally for the vehicles, I like them in box, but it was in the bundle deal. Why not? I can add this to my turtle collection. Then we have this pretty uncommon Batman figure. It's the 100th edition Batman figure. For anybody that doesn't know what this is not 100 years of Batman. This is like from 1984, the very first ever Batman action figure. The 100th design. This is the 100th different action figure to be released. They made it into 100th edition, which is a limited edition, which is pretty cool. Then we move on to games that we had. The main thing I wanted was the games. He did have some Disney games, but he wanted way too much for them. I'm like, no, you can keep them. You can keep things. Like, oh, I'll throw it in the bundle deal. I'll make a deal where I give you 2 free, but you have to pay. No, I'm like, nah, still too much for me. We have here a PSP UMD video, SpongeBob SquarePants the movie. You know, I love collecting my movies, and I love collecting the PSP. And we have one Genesis game. We have the Genesis 6-pack. We have Super Nintendo games. We have here Tetris 2, NBA Showdown. The only reason I got this because he said free. And then we have 2 copies of Super Mario World. And then we have 2 Nintendo 64 games. We have Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards. And then we have the Hydro Thunder, which I just got the loose card. This is complete. I had the box and manual for the longest time, and then he had a loose card, the blue one, not the gray one. He had the blue card, so now makes my box and manual complete. Yep. Well, there you have it. This week's pickups. Lots of different places I went this week for pickups. Lots of different things I picked up. What do you think of this week's pickups? Let me know in the comment section below. And now, as always, enjoy life and keep on collecting.